Coming up in today's food adventure, wait, am I the food today?
That's not a fish!
I'm back in Yunnan and the flavors do not miss.
这个能接受吗？这个味道？
太能接受。
I've also got a very special treat for you all.
你能给我们唱首英文歌吗
你认识什么英文歌呢
？Michael
Michael Jackson.
I'm about to throw down the performance of a lifetime, so grab snacks, get comfy, and please, oh please subscribe.
Hello, and welcome back to another Chinese food adventure, and welcome back to Yunnan. And can we just take a moment to appreciate this gorgeous coffee spot I have found this morning? I'm on the banks of Arhai, the beautiful lake here in Dali. In the background, because it is still February, we have snow-capped mountains, and it is just looking out onto this with the birds flying everywhere and these mountains and this water. I always feel so calm when I come here to Dali, and it's a reason why I just keep coming back time and time again. You may remember I wasn't here all too long ago. About 5-6 months ago, I was here with Alice making videos, and the reason I am back is I have unfinished business here in Yunnan. So the thing you need to know about Yunnan is there is an extremely popular tourist traveling route that goes from Kunming to Dali to Lijiang all the way up into Shangri-la, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing in this video series. I'm doing one city every video. Today we are starting off here in Dali, but because this is an extremely popular traveling route, a lot of people do come to Dali, Lijiang and Shangri-la. I'm going to be mixing it up as much as possible and finding those hidden gems. So today I'm not going to be heading to the Dali Old Town, which is extremely popular and busy. I'm not going to be going to Xizhou, which is where I based myself on my last trip, which is also quite busy. Instead today I'm going somewhere I've never been to before, which is called Weishan.
It's about an hour-and-a-half drive south of Dali Old Town, and it's a gorgeous ancient town with over 1,000 years of history.
And it definitely feels a lot different to other towns I've been in the Dali region before. First reason why is a lot of these stores, they're not as much geared towards tourists as they are towards just the local population here. I mean, you've just got local grocery stores and shoe stores and clothing stores. You do have an element of that commercialization, but definitely not as much as I've seen in other towns in the Dali region. So I'm really loving that I can get this kind of slice of local life that's still existing in this town. Another thing that's striking me is the town layout. You've got this grid design. So you're walking down this main thoroughfare here. This is Beijie. In the middle, you have the Gongchenglou, which is basically the center point of the city. All roads lead to the tower. And then you've got this grid design. So every now and again, you'll come across these little alleyways. I'm going to go down this one here. And every alleyway has something different for you to discover as well. First stop of the day is obviously going to be breakfast, and here in Weishan they're really famous for a variety of carb called ersi, which is kind of similar to mixian, but from what I understand ersi is a lot more labor intensive to make and also has a very different texture because it's made from rice which is steamed and then pounded, so the resulting noodle is apparently going to be quite a glutinous texture. And here there are so many different ways of using ersi to have breakfast or lunch or dinner, so I'm going to have one of the varieties for breakfast.
So I got a local tip. Here in Weishan, you know if a restaurant is legit if it starts with Lao, aka old. So when I saw this place, I walked right in. This place specializes in a variety of ersi called Guojiang ersi, crossing the river ersi. I'll explain why in a minute, but what you need to know for now is it's a dish made of 2 parts. Bowl number 1 brings the flavor. In there we've got lots of spices and sauces with some pa rou, which is this pork here that's been stewed for over 15 hours. I also added a fried egg to my bowl too because they look so delicious. At the very last moment, some broth is added to the bowl to mix all those flavors together. The second part of this dish, bowl number 2, is basically just that same broth with ersi noodles inside. Here's what the final dish looks like, also accompanied by lots of pickles and also some peanuts.
So first off, I think I want to just try the noodle by itself because I've been told it's going to be actually really glutinous. Let's go. Yeah. Yum. Those noodles are so nice and chewy. Like imagine a mochi noodle. That's exactly what this is. It doesn't have any of that like crunchy or crispiness that you'd find in like your typical mixian where you bite down and the noodle kind of shatters in your mouth. This on the other hand, you chew it and it very much stays together. It even tastes good just with the plain soup itself. It's already very tasty, but an important part of this dish is actually crossing the river. The name of this dish is Guojiang ersi, and you have to cross the river to get to the other side of the river where you can then be dunked in this incredibly flavorful looking sauce. And the meat inside this is very, very special. You can see how it's almost like strands of meat here. That's because it's been stewing for over 15 hours. It's called pa rou. It's another specialty of this area. Wow. The first reason I love this dish is because it's got some drama. You're putting it from here to here, you're kind of getting involved and like being a part of it, transforming its flavor. And the flavor really does transform. Even though it was really tasty already in that very simple kind of broth, it's completely been transformed once you put it into this bowl and you have it with some of that meat, which is so damn soft. So you've got the softness of that meat and that meatiness, and then you've got the chewiness of that noodle, so it's already a texture explosion, and then you've got the sauce or that soup in there, which is salty, slightly spicy, but most notably a little bit smoky. Also can't help but notice we have 3 different varieties of pickle in front of me here. I've also been told that the pickles here in Weishan are very, very famous. So I think I might actually try my next bite with some pickles. This first one is like a cabbage pickle. Oh wow.
Can we just have a moment to appreciate the work that pickles do, adding zing and excitement to dishes everywhere? Honestly, slay.
It's crunchy and sour and slightly spicy. Got another little pickle here too. Oh wow. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what this... 谢谢，我想问一下，这是什么菜？
腌菜，
腌菜，但这个
青菜做的，
青菜做的，
大青菜做的，
哦，好好吃，
好不好吃？你要把这个饵丝微微的拌一下，美女，这样微微的拌一下就不断了，这样，哎，就不妥了，这样，它这长长的，一颗一颗的，这样就不断了。
哦，谢谢你，谢谢。然后所有都放在这儿，还是
吃一口蘸一口，一次不饭完。
好好吃，谢谢，谢谢。Oh, so sweet. She's come over and showed me how to do it. And she's also brought me more of these amazing cabbage pickles because I think she noticed that I was really enjoying them. Can't go any further into this video without mentioning this amazing fried egg that I've also ordered with this. Let's bite into it. Oh, yum. So I don't know how they've done it, but it's got a very interesting texture on the outside, almost like strands of batter, and you can definitely feel that when you eat it. And also you've got that deep fried oiliness, which adds another dimension to this dish, which I really, really love. A word of warning, if you want to enjoy these noodles with that broth on its own, do it before you even think about touching this bowl, because I just went back and just tried a bite of these just with the broth inside, and it doesn't cut it anymore now that my mouth is adjusted to this amount of flavor. So I'd say go in first and have a bite of this with the broth, and then go in with this.
This was an awesome way to start my morning here in Weishan, eating my breakfast and watching the town slowly start to come to life.
Hey kitty. Oh hi. I don't know what to do with cats, guys. I've never had a cat. Do I pat it? Do I play fetch? Oh yeah, you liked it. Coffee number 2 of the day. I love how many amazing cafes there are here in the Dali area, and a lot of them actually use locally sourced Yunnan coffee beans. If you didn't know, Yunnan produces a lot of coffee. But anyway, I was just sitting here and I was looking around, and the first thing that's really striking me here about Weishan is how different it looks architecturally from some other towns that I've visited in the Dali region before. And now this is where it starts to get a little bit wordy, so I've got my phone here for some support. So the full name of Dali, the city, is Dali Baizu Zizhizhou, which basically means the Dali Bai Autonomous Prefecture, which indicates there are a lot of people of the Bai ethnic minority living in Dali. But this is where it gets interesting, because Weishan, even though we're in the Dali Bai Autonomous Prefecture, the full name of Weishan is actually Weishan Yizu Huizu Zizhi, which basically means the Weishan Yi and Hui Autonomous County within the Dali Bai Autonomous Prefecture, which means that here in Weishan, it's actually not predominantly Bai ethnic minority, it's the Yi minority and the Hui ethnic minority, which I guess can account for the difference in the architecture.
So it's a very unique town, and every turn in the road brings a new surprise.
Hey, how cool is this? I think this is like a place to drink some tea. It kind of reminds me of Chengdu. Just sitting outside drinking some tea. So in Chengdu, if you haven't been before, they have all these parks where you can just sit down and drink tea and have some guazi and chat the day away. We are not in Sichuan province right now, we're here in Yunnan, but this is a very, very similar concept.
感受一下微山的特色茶，喝茶。
哦，好，应该怎么体验？就
你一个人呢？
一个人。
我就给你看一下豆子，给你看这个茶，这个烤茶，华米椒，华花茶，这个是微山的特色茶。哦，就是这个好香的，喝起来，这个烤茶泡起来，加上这个华米，这个华米起到清凉去火的作用，喝起来口感很好的。
哦，谢谢。cool。需要泡多久？
就可以喝了。
哦，就可以喝了。哦 ，OK。
你闻一下，它好香。
Oh yeah, it smells really, really fresh.
你慢慢喝。
So those bits you see coming out there, that's the humi, the baked rice, which is going to make this tea even more fragrant apparently.
Oh wow. I mean, it's a variety of green tea, so when you drink it, you can definitely tell that it's green tea. But it's got an extra depth of flavor to it. It's, I wouldn't say smoky, but you can definitely tell that it's been cooked in some way. Hey, this chair's comfy. Now that's a difference to Chengdu. So every time I go to Renmingongyuan in Chengdu and I drink my tea in the park with everyone else on these kind of chairs, the thing about those chairs is they are so freaking uncomfortable and creaky and just not the most pleasant chairs to be spending hours drinking tea on, in my opinion. Kind of hard to get comfortable. But this really supports your back. But wait, it gets even better. I've just realized that these chairs, you can actually choose how far back you want it to go. It can be adjusted. Look. Oh, now I can lie back like this. I could sit here for hours, to be honest, just watch the world go by. And that's why I love these kind of little tea stores. It's a way of like enjoying a city or a place at like a slower pace. And it's not an exaggeration, you really can spend hours here just drinking your 1 cup of 15 kwai tea, because you have this massive thermos of hot water that you basically just keep refilling. You don't just steep these tea leaves once, you can do it like heaps of times. So you've got this kind of like a little bit like a never-ending cup of tea.
But alas, all good things must come to an end, but where one story ends, another story begins.
Next stop, we're actually leaving Weishan very briefly. I'm visiting a friend of a friend. So my friend in Beijing, she's always telling me about her friend who kind of got sick of life in the big city, wanted to be more one with nature and decided to actually move out here and be more one with nature. You've got to check out where we are right now. We are really kind of making our way here. I'm not too sure exactly where we are, but I think I'm about to go horse riding.
So on the banks of this reservoir here, you'll find a small town called Canglugu, Heron Valley. That's where my friend's friend has set up shop.
We have just arrived. I think this is where my friend's friend is situated over there. There's a bit of activity happening, but I wanted to first show you this beautiful youcaihua field here. Youcaihua is basically rape flour, and it's a key ingredient that goes into making caiziyou, which is a very, very popular oil used kind of in this region. I personally really love youcaihua because it's a very striking element in the landscape. Kind of looks like someone has taken a fluoro marker to the grass. And yeah, makes for some really nice videos and photos, and this is the season for it right now.
And here's my friend's friend here. Okay, her name is Yatou, and she manages a horse farm here in Heron Valley.
为什么选择搬到大理来？
CPU 跟不上了嘛，脑子不够使了。
我能理解，现在那大城市的生活就是有点很快，节奏快。
是的，是的，压力太大了。我觉得今天在北京过的是一种超人的生活，对，就是晚上不睡，早上可能起不来。然后每天这个饮食起居乱七八糟，就哎呀不能被事情安排了，所以呢就再见了北京。
为什么选择大理呢？
大理好呀，气候好呀，生态好呀，在中国可能没有任何一个省像云南省这么丰富，它的地形地貌以及生态，以及少数民族都是最字头的。
然后已经发生什么变化在自己？
至少是越来越黑了。对，然后呢也越来越健康了，就越来越像一个当地土著。
这里你主要是做什么呢？
放马呀。
为什么选择这个行业？
健康啊，那马儿这种动物，它是一个非常需要运动的动物，你不能老关着它，所以你得遛它。你要么骑啊，要么跟着走，就是你要不遛它，它就会病。所以呢，你也偷不了一点懒。
So this is my instructor for the day. He's going to be teaching me how to ride this horse. And I've been told, number 1 rule of horse club, do not be frightened or nervous because they can smell it on you.
Ole.
Whoa, hello, gorgeous. Wow, oh, hello, hello. I don't know where to touch him. 拍这里吗？
可以，他很喜欢拍这里。
Good boy, good boy. 哇，他是一个好的马吗？
好马，很聪明，智商很高。
你怎么知道他的智商很高？
教他动作，他知道我的口令的一些东西。喏。去。
Oh wow.
去。
So he's just
他
making.
现在有点累，不想走了。好，我现在让他快步。
Okay. Wow. So he's basically just changed. Like a mouth clicking.
No.
Oh wow, he just said ole and then Dafu just stopped. Very smart horse. I'm going to be riding that horse. Oh.
First step was learning how to get on the horse. Next step was learning how to initiate the slow walk with the sound. And then last step is cantering.
Go. Good, good, good.
And after an hour or so of practicing in the ring, I was ready to go for a ride outside. And these horses were so chill. They even let us walk them through the water. This was so cool.
I officially now know how to ride a horse.
No.
No?
No. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
我的妈呀. Oh, literally, 我的妈呀.
My God.
That was the most appropriate use of that phrase ever. Okay, 我的妈呀, let's do our next activity. Next up on today's itinerary. We're continuing on with our animal experiences. We're going fishing. That's not a fish!
So these gorgeous birds you see here are cormorants, and they play a big role in the local fishing culture of the Bai ethnic minority.
今天刚刚我去的时候，他又抓了这只又抓了5条。
为什么不飞出去？
因为它在我旁边，它不飞的。
它喜欢你吗？
对，因为我喂它嘛，我要养它嘛，是不是？
These birds that are sitting on this boat here, they're extremely obedient. They don't have any, ropes around them. They are there of their own free will because basically this fisherman is their master. The fisherman feeds them every day. And basically the cormorants, they are going to be diving into the water, catching the fish, and bringing it back to the master.
So I'm on a separate boat here, ready to watch this centuries-old tradition play out with my own eyes. So first step, the birds are thrown/pushed into the water. Then the fisherman starts to make this noise to make it clear to the birds it's time to go fishing. Then they'll start diving under the water looking for fish.
My question is, what stops the cormorants from just eating the fish that they catch? Do you see this cormorant here? See how big its neck is? It's because there's a fish in there. He's caught a fish. I'm interested to see how this is gonna go.
Now the fisherman needs to get that cormorant back on board.
You can see just how much bigger his neck is than everyone else. It looks like a big fish. Okay, now what? Now, how does this work? Oh, look! Oh my God! Oh my God! Do you see that massive fish come out? Okay, it's going back in.
It took a lot of coaxing to persuade this cormorant to drop its fish, actually. And when I interviewed this fisherman afterwards, I learned the reason the cormorant doesn't simply just eat the fish itself is...
因为鱼太大了，然后它吃不下去。
So yeah, that's the reason. The fish is simply physically too large to be swallowed by these birds. Look at the size of this next one. It's absolutely incredible. But this leads me to my next question.
那为什么他愿意抓到它呢？
因为它就是想要那个勾牢，就是我们从小就要排斥它，让它去抓那些大的。 然后它才有那个零食吃。为什么给它奖励呢？就是它抓到大鱼以后要给它一点奖励，鼓励它。
And the fish just kept coming and coming. It's an extremely effective way of catching fish, and one of the reasons why catching fish in this way is currently banned on Arhai Lake.
以前的话，我们在洱海里面，现在不可以，现在就是保护洱海。然后这里有个水库，然后就迁移过这边来了。我爷爷、我爸爸。 我大爹、我叔他们都是做这个，而且我也做这个。
I feel so lucky to have been able to witness this tradition with my own eyes today. And Yato, aka my friend's friend, let me know that if you want to visit Muye Xiaoyao Hui, her business here in Heron Valley, just say my name and you'll get 15% off any of the activities here.
Just finished fishing and I am sitting here with Jojo, who's actually a volunteer here. And apparently he is a walking food map of Yunnan. So I'm gonna get in and ask him some questions. 你觉得今天晚上要吃啥？
微山这一边。 本地居民会吃比较多的是那个小锅饵丝。小锅饵丝 ，OK。我今天早上吃了那个锅加饵丝，是不是有一点相同的？不太一样，他们会用砂锅去煮那个饵丝，然后还有它的烧烤。Maybe you can try.
Back in Weishan, it's time for dinner, and guess who has time to join me? It's Jojo. It's the walking map of Yunnan food. OK， 第一站要去哪里吃呢？
就是砂锅饵丝。
So here's the restaurant Jojo suggested we eat at, and check out the name of this place. I just know it's gonna be a banger, because remember what I said earlier? If it's got the Lao character at the front, it's legit. Well, here we have not one, not two, but 3 Lao characters. Wow, so old, must be so good. Let's check it out.
你看炒的饵丝。
Yet another way that arsa is used, fried in the wok, and it smelled so amazing we decided to also get a serve of that too. But this is what we came here for. It's the shagua arsa. So shagua basically means something that you eat in like a clay pot bowl. And as you can see, we have some bowls here over the fire. And what's cooking inside is basically what we're going to be eating. And here's the finished product. It's so bubbly and vibrant and looks so packed full of flavor.
里面会有臭豆腐。里面也有臭豆腐。你能吃臭豆腐吗？
No. We've also got our fried arsa on this plate, as well as a third variety of arsa called parou arsa. It's basically soup noodles with that same ultra soft pork we had this morning.
我们先从干的开始吃吧。
Okay.
这个就是平时本地人的宵夜。
It looks amazing. Check out these arsa here.
这个能接受吗？这个味道？
太能接受，好好吃哦。First thing that hits me about this dish is the texture. That arsa, it's like very chewy. It's amazing. And then it's also quite crunchy in there. You've got some of these. 这是什么？
酸菜。
哦。脆脆的. It's really good because those little pickles, it gives it a little bit of sourness, but also a little bit of saltiness as well. And it's also 辣，有一点辣。
对，就是我第一次吃这个，因为我每次来他们店，我看他们就炒得很认真，然后很好吃。但是就是每一次点完这个以后，就是都吃不下别的。
Next up, let's try the 扒肉饵丝。
然后你觉得一起吃比较好吗？
对，就有瘦肉，然后还有那个皮。
This is the skin here. I've been instructed to gather some lean meat, some skin, some noodles, as well as one of those cabbage pickles I love, and have it all together in one big bite.
就这么吃的话，你可以吃到不同的口感，然后有瘦的，然后有脆的，然后有皮的软。
你太会吃了，你太会吃了。Both of these are equally as delicious. I'd say if you're in the mood for something like spicy and really like tingly on the palate, get this. But if you're in the mood for like some more hearty, a little less intense, you should go for this one. It's so good. Last one that we need to actually try is our, oh my god, this is heavy. Check that out. It looks absolutely fantastic.
就可以看看里面的配菜，就是臭豆腐。
哦，这是臭豆腐。Okay, also got me some 臭豆腐 on there.
把这个酸菜还有里面的焖肉一起。
谢谢。
一口。
Check this out. Oh, I can smell the stinky tofu.
再喝口汤。
哇，它的味道很重。
对。
I really can taste the stinky tofu inside actually. It's a very prominent flavor, maybe because I got a big chunk of it, but yeah, it's a whack banger flavor in your face. If you like stinky tofu, you will like this. If you don't like stinky tofu, you will not like this. I'm really happy because I set out in this video to find like a more hidden gem or somewhere a little bit more underrated. This kind of restaurant you wouldn't be able to find in like Dali Guchong. The kind of shop front, it's not, you know, over designed and there's no attention paid to the interior design, which is frankly what I look for in a restaurant. Like the less fucks given when it comes to interior design means the more fucks given when it comes to the food.
就本地人会比较多，你看他们的状态，你就大概知道了。
你怎么知道？
就是游客跟本地人的游客是这样的，游客是这样的，然后本地居民就是很休闲。
我可以做吗？哦 ，OK， check this out。
还有谁在快乐的坚持信仰？还有谁在快乐的继续歌唱？
太好听了，
动完了他，
他没事吗？哇，吓我一跳，好棒！
你中文说的好好。
没有。
你是哪里的？
澳大利亚的。
哦，我会说一句英文。
来吧。
Australia。你能给我们唱首英文歌吗？我帮你弹。可以。
你认识什么英文歌呢？
Michael
Jackson。
哦，对。
Michael Jackson，OK， 我
可以啊。
哎，我听一下，我听一下。哦 ，OK，I know， 我知道 ，OK， 来吧。对，哦，喂，我需要字，可以了，准备好了。 Don't you ever come around here? Don't wanna see your face, you better disappear. The fire's in their eyes and the words are really clear. Just beat it, just beat it. You better run, you better do what you can. Don't wanna see no blood, don't be no macho man. You wanna be tough, better do what you can. So beat it, so beat it, just beat it. Show them how funky and strong is your fight. It doesn't matter who's wrong or right. Just beat it. Just beat it. Beat it. Just beat it. Just beat it. Beat it. Woo! This guy's awesome. Woo! has developed to hear my awful singing. How did I do, guys? Let me know in the comments. Yes! High five!
Yes!
Amazing!
教你用云南话好不好？
哦，可以。
太板杂了。
太板杂了，什么意思？
就是 very good， 太厉害了。
太板杂了，
对，太板杂了，
太板杂了，你们太板杂了。好，那我先走了，拜拜。太板杂了，拜拜，加油。Oh my god, how hilarious was that? I will not be forgetting that anytime soon.
But guess what? The food adventure is still not over. Singing burns calories, as you know, and we're about to fill the space that's been made by the exertion of my vocal cords with some local charcoal. So we're at this table outside where they put some hot coals right underneath, and yeah, we can just cook our stuff on the stove directly. First thing we put on was some tofu, and something you need to know, people from Yunnan love tofu.
And see this oil here? See how yellow it is? I'll give you one guess what kind of oil it is. It's the rapeseed oil from the flowers we saw earlier.
While we waited for our tofu to cook, another very interesting item arrived on our table. This is called xixxx, another Weishan local specialty made from ground white peas. When water is added to it, it creates the most interesting texture. Check this out.
用筷子吃还是怎么吃？
用筷子吃。
用筷子吃。I mean, I wouldn't say like 筷子 is the best option, but interesting. You can see this. This is basically the crispy bits that are on top. I mean, it's not as crispy as you'd think. It's actually a little bit more not crispy. But when it goes with that soup, so look at this, I've just put it in, and if I just submerge that for a little bit of time, it's going to get really soft and juicy and kind of combine with that sauce. I have no idea what to expect with this. Wow.
A little bit spicy.
A little bit spicy and a lot salty.
这边的吃法还会放点薄荷一起，就米线里面也可以配薄荷，然后各种东西里面都可以配薄荷。
That's
Very
good.
special.
That's good. I really see the logic behind the boho, behind the mint. Because this is quite a salty dish, very, very salty. But when you put it with the boho, with that mint, it just gives it that freshness that it needs. Very interesting dish. And we also have some tofu here. I'm gonna...
Look, I'm not crazy. I was told by another volunteer from the horse farm who's currently sitting next to me that the local way to know when the bajang tofu is ready to eat is if it starts to sing or make a kind of whining sound. You see this piece here, this one was just right. Come listen to its song.
Just beat it, just beat it, beat it. This is a special kind of tofu called bajang tofu. And basically on the outside it's like hard, but on the inside it retains this like very soft, tender texture. It's like a balloon of tofu. I've had it quite a few times here in Yunnan before. And I don't know if you can see, but inside it's almost like a tofu pudding texture. Super, super soft.
And a word of warning, that tofu, it holds its heat.
That is hot. But very, very good. Yunnan tofu. Demon. Another tofu product we have on our table is this mao tofu, which is hairy tofu. If you've never had mao tofu before and your inclination is to turn your nose up at it being like, oh, hairy tofu, whatever, remind yourself that camembert cheese, roquefort cheese, a lot of those beautiful moldy cheeses that you love from France, it goes through a very similar fermentation process and has mold on the outside of them. I love mao tofu. And the reason is, it has this amazing earthiness about it, almost like a blue cheese texture in there as well, and also intensely flavorful. Like, I mean, it might be the sauce, but I always find it very salty and very, very whack bang flavor. It's very good. Polishing off our barbecue here, but that's going to bring us to the end of today's food adventure. Big thank you to Jojo, big thank you to Yato, thank you for having me today and for letting me ride your horses. And I will see you guys next week. We are heading to Lijiang. It's going to be amazing. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I will see you next week. Goodbye from Dali.